All right, Coach. How long you been with the program, Cal State Bakersfield?
So I finished my second year here, and I'm going on my third season now.
Third season, okay. I always get mixed up with the COVID year. I don't know if those count or not.
Yeah,
so
I got out here in September of 2020.
Okay.
So, like, I'll finish, like, our complete 3 total years out here in September.
okay.
So, yeah.
So Michigan kid.
Yep.
You did NIU.
For 2 years, yeah. Well, three years, 2 years of, like, competing, and then my last 2 years at Minnesota.
At Minnesota. So I got to ask you the same thing I asked Coach. What's the difference between the high desert out here and the Midwest?
I'd say the biggest difference in, like, growing up in the Midwest, it's like you're prepared. As soon as you open the door, you're going to get hit with a cold burst of wind. And I've lived out here a couple years now, and I still open the door, like, expecting the cold to hit me, but I'm, like, always pleasantly surprised that, like, oh, it's 50 degrees today, maybe 60. I'll throw on a sweatshirt, probably take it off around lunch because it'll hit the 70s. So it's, like, it's really refreshing that it's always warm out, and it keeps you kind of, like, always motivated because I'm used to kind of coming into practice and you don't even see the sun for a couple months at a time.
Yeah.
Like, you're always seeing daylight, so it does give you a little more excitement compared to, like, what I'm used to, I guess.
Yeah, so what kind of outdoor activities are you doing in this area in Bakersfield?
Yeah, I mean, it's super hot. So in the summer right now is actually when I'm outside the least because it's so hot that, like, I'm getting burnt and scorched pretty easy. But we'll go frisbee golfing, like to go fishing. I'll go down to the beach. I got some buddies who live in California from high school, so it's nice to meet up with them and go hang out and kind of see what the rest of the state has to offer. Because, I mean, this is all new to me. I've never been to California. So everything I see, I'm, like, taking it in. It's all brand new. So.
All right,
it's
so
cool.
on that note, with being new to California, new to the program, as we mentioned already, what kind of flavor are you bringing to this room? What do you think you add to the program?
I'm sure I bring a little bit of a spark and fire. I yell at the guys a lot, but it comes from a good place. I definitely like to be hands-on and, like, involved in the process. I think that the more time that I spend with them just trying to get my mental philosophy and some of the things that we really preach, like, it rubs off really the more you're around guys who are just on a mission, and surrounding myself with, like, people who are really motivated to reach that higher goal. But yeah, I would just say that since I've been here, the guys have really matured from, like, I think one of our biggest, like, attributes is we've really started lifting a lot more as a team, and, like, that's been something that I think when I first got here we were a little on the fence about. Some guys were like, yeah, man, I'm already pretty good at wrestling, I don't know if I have to lift to be really good. It's like, well, the more chips you stack in your favor, the more chances you're going to get your hand raised when you toe the line. So, and, like, our guys, like, matured and grew quickly from it, just from, like, a year or two of, like, really getting after it. They, like, see the growth, and they like coming in and pushing big weight now. So, like, for me, that's satisfying to see them, like, be excited about something that they used to kind of dread.
We got the rope apparatus outside. We got Betsy and Chaos behind the building here. So these are torture devices. But what you were telling me off camera is that, you know, they're also it's mental to get over some of these things. Tell us a little bit about Betsy and Chaos out there. What we got?
So Betsy and Chaos, I pushed a lot of sleds when I was in college, and we had some tough days in college where, I mean, no matter what workout we were doing, the sled was going to break you no matter what, and just about keep pushing through it. And whether it's you push the sled 25 or 50 yards, at some point that sled's going to break, and you got to make the choice to keep pushing it. And just finding unique ways to challenge these guys and push themselves and stuff that, like, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing they've never done it, but pretty good chance that nobody's ever climbed that rope with the 45s, or if they have pushed sleds, they haven't pushed them in the way that I want them to do it yet. So just finding new ways to challenge guys and keep it new and interesting. I don't want guys to get used to the same workout all the time and kind of, like, have a game plan to be ready for it. I want it to just be, hey, you do the challenge in front of you and just do it to the best of your ability, because that's kind of how life and matches are going to be. You're not going to have time to game plan and prep it. Right. You're going to get hit with something that you don't expect, and you're just going to have to conquer it.
So the wrestlers aren't running anymore when they see you? They're not running away from you? They've embraced it now?
Yeah, you know, I think they actually, yes, they run towards that challenge now. Okay. Instead of, like, guys fighting you on it, they're like, oh, we have to do Betsy and Chaos. We got to climb the rope. Now we got guys asking to do it. They're like, Coach, we're still doing Betsy and Chaos right after lift, right? And they're saying it with a smile. So like the attitude shift of like what they want to do, they want to take on more challenges, and they want to be trained hard. So that's like, for me, the most rewarding part to see is like they want more and they want it to be challenging. Like they are looking for that test, and that's why I think our team's going to grow and continue to reach like bigger and better heights, because when you get a guy wanting that challenge, like a lot of times that's the biggest thing that you have to get a young buck to realize. It's like, dude, this is going to be hard, but if you like the fight and you like the challenge, you're going to thrive. And building that mindset, it takes a little while, but once you get somebody there, special things happen.
It's a good segue into the leadership under Coach Smith and the change that's going on in this program, right? You've always been known for tough, gritty, wrestlers coming out here from California, but it seems like to me that there's now a mental shift that's going on in the program, right?
Right. I think that Coach has been at a couple different schools. I've been at a couple places. You can win no matter where you're at. I think the biggest thing is you have to believe in what you're doing. And really, if you toe the line and you have wholehearted belief in like the work that you've done in the room and the people who are sitting in your corner, and you know that you've done everything you can to give yourself the best chance at winning, then I mean, more times than not, you are going to get your hand raised and you're going to win when it matters. And I think just from a philosophy standpoint, it's like we're in a conference with a lot of good teams, and like, you're wrestling some Power 5 schools, to not be intimidated by that, to be like, hey, like, these are the guys who I'm always going to be wrestling against. So like, it's not like that's where the standard is for us. We expect to beat the best guys in the country, no matter what school you're from, because I mean, we have a really good tradition of winning here, and we expect to get back to it. So.
Yeah, these names on the wall behind you, they're amazing. And I was telling Coach earlier, listen, I'm from Central Ohio. I'm an ignorant wrestling fan. I didn't realize that all these names came through this program.
I didn't know that either.
When
I first got out here, I was shocked at the amount of history that we have, from the amount of All-Americans to world team members to Olympians. I mean, I think Cal State Bakersfield is one of the programs that's not talked a lot about historically, but has a lot of tradition and history here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really impressed and motivated when I walk in here every day. I look around at the names on the wall, and it's like, you know what, we can do it here, and it's been done here not too long ago. So you just kind of got to use these guys around you, and we have a lot of community help too. Like, our volunteer coach Ceballos still comes in and wrestles with the guys all the time. He was an All-American here in 2005. So to have that type of support of guys who just want to help and come in and always scrap. Like, we got one of the coolest things I think here is we got like these old men showdowns where like it's a alumni who's like 35, 45 years old. He'll bring his little girls, or they'll bring like, whoever in their family to come watch them piece up one of our guys in the practice room. And sometimes they get beat up a little bit. But like, the fact that like almost every one of our starters, or like every one of our guys, has like their own designated like old guy partner is pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Like when Coach Cobb walks in the door, everybody starts oohing and on and pointing at Braden and Johnny, because they know that's their guy. So no, we have a lot of special things here that just like I've never seen anywhere else, and to be a part of that and like still see it going on, like it's special. All
right, so expand on specialness a little bit on what you said in regards to a recruit. Talk to the recruit from Michigan, from Ohio, from PA. We don't have those in the room yet here. But what's it going to take to convince somebody that
to make that leap out?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think first one is, you're going to get out of the cold. That's a big plus. But I mean, Bakersfield's a big wrestling community, and as far as like for us, I think the thing that we have going for us is, there's not a lot going on in Bakersfield to where like there's distractions from a social standpoint, or there's just a lot to do. The kids that we get, the time that they spend is in here wrestling, getting better. You got guys hitting you up all the time wanting to do individual drills, want to do extra training. It's like, and it's not easy training. It's 90, 100 degrees outside really quick. Like, guys look for the challenge, and there's no easy way to go about it out here. But I think we do a lot of one-on-one development to where we can take a little more time and work with our guys and really hone their craft and like establish their game plan, and not like we understand that like each guy has his own niche, and that's why he's good, and that's what's got him here, and building on that rather than trying to cookie cutter him and be like, you're going to do this, this, and this, because that's overall what people have success with. Like, yes, there is some of that you have to do to fix some bad habits, but like figuring out the kid and kind of building off what he already does well. And I've found that like the more you get to know somebody and figure out how their mind works and how their brain ticks, like now you can put yourself in their shoes and see like, all right, he would learn it better this way, and he's probably going to retain or get the information better if I present it this way. So I think for me, like my biggest part is learning how each one of these guys responds to information, so that when I present them with new ideas, they get the most out of it. And for like me, what worked for me and like learning in certain ways is like the complete opposite of somebody else. So that's where I've kind of taken a back seat and learned a little bit. We're like, all right, I have to learn my guys more so that it's easier for them to learn what I'm trying to show them. And I have to teach in a way that they can pick it up.
So no football on this campus.
Correct.
Basketball, baseball, wrestling.
Yep.
Is wrestling pretty big for the student population
big
here?
I'd say historically, wrestling is probably the best sport on campus.
Okay.
So yeah, we got that going for us. But yeah, I mean, for us being a smaller school, I think the student athlete community seems really tight, and that's good. Like I think most of our dual meets, you see like representatives from every sport. I know our guys go support a lot of other sports on campus, so it's nice that everybody knows everybody within the student athlete community, but at the same time, like you get a lot of support from the athletic department as a whole. It's not just like a couple sports supporting one. So
yeah, this is a standalone facility built in like the 70s or something, 60s or 70s.
At one time, this had to be state of the art.
Yeah.
This is still really nice.
It's really nice, and it is standalone. I mean, you don't find that in very many places.
And I was actually shocked when I first came out here, because I was like, how many people go to school here? They're like 11 or 12,000. I'm like, this is a nice wrestling room for only 11 or 12,000.
Right. Very nice campus as well.
And I like compared to a lot of the other schools, as far as like mat space, like we have a ton of mat space. Like I'm like always really surprised. Like wow, like I can't complain about our facility at all. It's nice.
Yep. All right, Coach. I appreciate the time. What else you got for us?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Just keep track of our team. We got a young squad, but they're looking tough. They're eager to get after it. I think next year is we're going to surprise some people. So
Good.
Just be on the lookout for us. And thanks for coming out to check out Bakersfield. We want to keep wrestling people coming out here and keep people excited about Cal State Bakersfield. So,
awesome, man. Well, we'll be watching for sure.
For sure. Thank
Thanks.
you.